Okay, I'm Pablo Munoz. I'm a lecturer in business and sustainable change at University of Leeds in the UK. So this paper was part of my PhD. Actually, it was the main results of the main paper. And so I started looking at niches, green niches. So there are a lot of programs in Europe supporting sustainable technologies, and I realized that basically the ones who manage to get the products into the market are entrepreneurs. So started working with Dimo, Dimov and entrepreneurship, sustainable ventures, and trying to understand how they emerge. And I think that was interesting, and what makes them make the decisions they actually make. So how they come up with ideas, how they engage with markets, how they engage with certain type of actions, and I think that was the main motivation. So I was curious about how sustainable ventures emerge. So in terms of research, so we went back to literature. Obviously, there's 10 years of literature on sustainable ventures, explanations, millions. So it could be about knowledge, it could be about motivation, it could be about values, it could be about social norms, context, business support. So tons of different explanations, and so basically need to figure out, well, how can you make sense of that amount of possible explanations? So instead of looking at individual factors that might affect decision making, we went took a different approach and did configurational methods. So we use QCA, Qualitative Comparative Analysis, and started looking at configuration of conditions. So what if we combine knowledge and its values and orientation and rest, and try to explain what's going on, how they basically come up with ideas, how they engage, etc. And that what is interesting is it's about a paper which is there's a novel method. Novel method, I think, is the first paper published in JBV using QCA, and adds value as well. And we use, and the other problem we had, we had too many problems, but the problem was that sustainable ventures, the kind of the real ones, are not too many, right? And when you have a small sample, what you have to do is try to come up with a solution, and QCA gives you that chance, right? You can work with small sample. We work with, we started with 6 to 7 cases, we're working with 45 cases, and basically stats are not good for that. So QCA works really, really well and allows you to observe configuration of factors instead of just one single factor. In terms of results, so it was really interesting. We had 3 outcomes, 3 DVs if you like, ideas, actions, and interactions, and different factors leading to each of those. And then what we found is that there's consistency across those 3 outcomes. And as a result, we realized that there are 2 different paths. So 2 different types of sustainable ventures, if you like. And there's one who reacts. So there's no social support, no one cares about sustainability, but still they go and fight, and they basically develop the venture anyways. And then there's a conformist, where they have a lot of support, so social norms are really supportive, sustainability is a big thing, and what they do, they just take that and create a business out of it. And the paths are quite consistent, so we have 20 cases of insurgents and 25 cases of conformists. And then what we do, we explain, we have quantitative data, we have qualitative data, so we have there's a lot of richness behind it. So there's good quotes from the entrepreneurs. So it's rich in many senses. Right? So it's the method, it's the theme, it's the data. In terms of practice, implications for practice, well, I guess that not everything's about values. We tend to believe that there's values is a big driver, it's a motivation, so they want to change the world. It might not, because we have different types of sustainable entrepreneurs, different ways of developing sustainable venture. So if we think that we need to rely on values or people that are only driven by values, there might be another solutions. The only thing we're not considering and might be relevant for policy is social norms. I mean, it seems that social norms is one of the biggest drivers, and they do it with or without, right? And there are some environments that are more conducive to the creation of sustainable ventures. There are others that it seems that are not, but in the end they end up doing it anyways. So I think there's more work that needs to be done, and I'm doing it. So I'm looking into plays. So what role place attachment, and so since social norms is a big thing, so we are going deeper into that. Looking at cities as a context as well, and so trying to do more research that is relevant for practice and policy.